take a look at being able to navigate to the list of all the widgets for a particular page, right? Now the widgets are somewhat kind of like the leaves in this hierarchical data model that we have, right? Where we have at the root we have all the users, right? And once you select a particular user, then you follow a particular trunk of that hierarchical tree, right? Then you navigate to the websites, then you navigate down to pages, and so we're pruning this tree until we reach the branches of pages, and we get to the leaves of all the widgets that belong to a particular page, right? So for that, we're going to use the same syntax that we've been following that allows us to encode here the relationships between the different entities, right? Here we have the relationship between a user and the websites, right, through this kind of like foreign key of saying that these are all the websites that belong to this particular user. Same thing would be for the pages, right? Then if you specify a particular website, right, you can then specify all the pages for that particular website. Yes, right. And if you specify a particular page, then you can specify all the widgets for that particular page, right? So there's structure to this URL. And this is a very common syntax that is used in most RESTful applications, right? That allow you to encode the relationship between the different entities. Make sense? All right. So I'd like to focus on widget, but we haven't done any of the pages yet. Yes. So I'm going to skip that. I'm going to skip that because I'm going to leave the pages to you. I'm just going to focus on these widgets down here. All right. So these are the This is going to be the URL that's going to allow us to navigate to the list of widgets. So let's focus on that. I believe we already have a prototype of the list of widgets. Right? So let's navigate to that static page that we have so far. I believe it's somewhere under views, under the views widget, and this is the list right here. So we want to navigate to that particular page right there. Okay. All right, so let's create the mapping that would navigate us there. Let's go to our config. Config is where we are. We're centralizing all the navigation logic right here in a single point of maintenance. All right, so let's create another route. Here, I'll put it right here. So here we're going to do all the widget routing, and I'll leave for you page routing TBD. Right, so you'll work on that. I'm going to focus on routing for the widgets. Okay. All right. So the URL has the following format. Right, where this is the user ID. Right, these are all. This is the user ID. This is the website ID, a particular website ID, and this is a page ID. Now this page ID we're going to ignore, right? Because again, we didn't implement anything in the page. Right, so we're going to take a couple of shortcuts here. And assume that we already have all that already built. Okay, so the page ID would be used to retrieve the widgets for that particular page, right? So we're not going to do that. We're just going to say all the widgets. I'm just going to work with all the widgets we have so far, right? We're not going to do the filtering because we know how to do that already, right? We did that when we did the websites for the user, right? So this would be the same thing. The widgets for the page, yes. Right, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to focus on listing the widgets and editing the widgets. All right, so what do we want to display here? The widget list is right here. Widget list is under views, widget list. So let's do that. So that's views, widget, templates, and this is widget list. And the name should be widget list view client. Let's rename it. So this is, let's change that, refactor, and this is widget list dot view dot client. Okay, we don't have a controller yet. We'll do that in a minute, but let's verify that indeed we can navigate to that page. Okay, so if I go here and type this, we have /user website, and that should have worked. Page ID widget /user ID website ID. Let's see what if we have an error. We don't have an error. Okay, says that it cannot find that HTML page. Assignment, undergraduate, views, widget, templates, widget list. Is it not in there? Oh, we didn't put it in the templates directory. Let's put the templates directory. Templates directory, so we'll move these two into the templates directory. So let's re-render. All right, looks like it worked. Right, it's loading the widgets. Right, with all that content. It's complaining. About a couple of things. Probably all these bootstrap and styles. Right, we no longer have that. Right, because we probably moved them in the wrong directory, and we don't need to load those anymore. Right. So let's fix that page. Right. So this page no longer is a full-blown standalone HTML document. Instead, is just a snippet, right, that is being included in something larger. So let's refresh. And okay, so no longer gives us the other errors, but it's still. Let's see. Why is this not style right? It is referring to an image. What is that image? Probably have a referencing HQ default. I'll just leave that. So let's see why is this not working. Probably we never loaded our style sheet, right? That did some of this styling. So let's go to the index page and make sure we are loading our style sheets. Let's see. We have link, bootstrap, min. Okay, looks like we're loading all the bootstrap libraries except we're not loading our library. So let's load that. And that's href, and that's probably under CSS and styles maybe. Right, and this is a style sheet. Okay, so that seemed to work. Okay, we have Gizmodo, we have the toolbar seems to work. We must have ruined this somehow, the hyperlink. Okay, somehow this is being overwritten as white. Why is this? Oh, okay, we changed it to. Why did we do that? Yeah, at some point we decided. Oh, maybe we were playing around with the background color. Maybe that's what we were doing. Okay, so I'll let you play with that. For now, I am just gonna change the color right here. It's not that you would ever do this. Gray. Okay, so I changed it to dark gray. All right. Not that you would ever do that. You would put it in a style sheet or a class and associate it in there. All right. So let's focus on implementing this Gizmodo. Let's see. Right now, all these widgets are all static. Right, it's all static H1s, H2s, H3s, images, iframes, and whatnot. Okay, so we want this to be dynamic, right? So we're gonna need somebody to feed us the data, the dynamic content, for us to dynamically iterate over the list of all the widgets and dynamically render this on the page, right? And for that, we'll need a controller to feed us that data.